I want you all to join me in welcoming Rafiki Morris of the Black Alliance for Peace. Give Rafiki a hand as he comes.
Wow. We've heard a lot today. Sean gave my speech 3 times.
One more won't hurt.
No, keep going. You just forced me to try to address some things that haven't been said. We are here because these fools back there are trying to go to war with Russia. And every time they try to go to war, we come out here. But I think it's time we begin to realize that this is not an isolated event. This is not nothing new. In fact, this is just the same old, same old. This country exists because somebody somewhere else came here, killed the Aboriginal inhabitants of the country, murdered them, slaughtered them, gave them smallpox, did all kinds of vile and malicious things. They used to scalp them. They had folks that they would send out to catch the Native American people, and they paid them by the head. And since they was too heavy to drag back to the sheriff's office, they would cut off a piece of their scalp and count the scalps when they took them back. That's the founding of this country. War. Black people in Africa, stolen from Africa. War. Dragged across the ocean. War. Enslaved for 500 years. War. This ain't nothing new. This country has not had a solid year without war since the time the Pilgrims landed. War. It's their modus operandi. That's how they operate. That's how they function. And this is just a continuation of the same thing that they've been doing all along to us. And we jump up every time they do it like it's something new. It ain't nothing new. It's the same old, same old. And we should be tired of it. And people here today are asking, well, what are we going to do about it? And you think, well, we're going to have another. No, we're not going to have another demonstration. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get organized. Yeah. Am I talking good? We're going to get organized. Organize. 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 Organize every sector. I'm tired of hearing about this silo and that silo and this intersection. It's all of us in this thing. Every community, every block, every sector of work, all of the workers, all of the women, organize the children, organize the cats and dogs in our community to fight these people, because that's what it's going to take. They have a program called 1033. Y'all know about that? Y'all know about that? The 1033 program is that when they purchase these armaments from Lockheed, they buy more than they need. They have surplus. And then when they restock their soldiers, they take the old armaments. That also becomes surplus. You know what they do with that surplus? They send it to the D.C. Police Department. That's what they do to it. They send it to hired thugs at Howard University and Morgan State College. That's what they do to it. The 1033 program. They send it to them pigs in the Caribbean who have been keeping our people oppressed and exploited for the same 500 years. That's what they do with the surplus. And you know who they get to come and train people to use these arms? The Zionist pigs in Israel who are massacring and murdering the Palestinian people. And they take the tactics and the methods and the approach that they use to suppress the Palestinians, and they train your local police department. That's what they're doing. 1033 program. I'm an organizer with the All African People's Revolutionary Party. And I'm a representative of the Black Alliance for Peace. But I'm also an artist. I'm a painter. So I want to paint you a quick picture before I leave. All right? Imagine a monster with a $750 billion a year budget, with an international arms network that surrounds the globe. AFRICOM, CENTCOM, SOUTHCOM, PACIFICOM, EUROCOM, SPACECOM. This monster got a SPACECOM. This same monster fostering war all over the world. I ain't got to NATO yet. That's where I'm headed. That's where I'm headed. I'm trying to set the scene. This is called the background of the painting. You know, you got things in the front that you see real easy, but you got to look deep to see what's in the background. This is the background.
All right.
Murdering people, killing people. And then, on top of all of that, they have a pit bull lapdog called NATO. That's a mercenary army. America pays for that army. And we don't know what NATO is. I mean, you might not know, I know. They're mercenaries. They're paying the French government. They're paying the German government. They're paying the British government. They're talking about Russia got 100,000 troops on this border. NATO got 3 million troops all over the world. 3 million. You understand? They say Russia got 100,000 troops on their own border. Ukraine got 150,000 troops on that same border. And we ain't even talking about Germany. We ain't even talking about France. We ain't even talking about Britain. This is a war world and a war-weary world. And the only way to bring it to an end is for us to get organized. So we out here telling you what we are against. But I'm going to tell you what we for. We for a better world. We for a world where children get education, get food, get clothing, get the things that they need, live in the optimal conditions for their growth and their development. We're talking about a world where greed is not the dominating factor of all decisions, but the need is the dominating factor of all decisions. And y'all might not like it, but the greedy world is a capitalist world. It's an imperialist world. It's a racist world. It's a Zionist world. And the world we're trying to build is a world where our people are united. A world it's called socialism. Now y'all say, yeah, but I don't know if, because some of y'all think so-called left-wing Democrats is socialists. Y'all, you know, we get confused in America. We don't know the left from the right. So I can help you out. Democrat and Republican, they all right. Ain't no left on that in that category. The left is out here. The left is out here in these neighborhoods. The left of that 10-year-old you left at home, not hearing this message. who's going to have to stand up to these same pigs we fighting today. That's the left is the future. So we want to say that our people got to come together. We're for the total liberation of Africa, the unification of Africa, and scientific socialism. That's what we're for. I'm in the All African People's Revolutionary Party. That's what we want. And all these so-called leftists, I'm telling you today, just like I tell you can't be a capitalist and a socialist at the same time. You can't be a leftist and not support the liberation and unification of Africa and African people. Because that is part and parcel of the struggle to liberate and unite the people of the world. And this is what we need. So I want to say finally, the optimum zone for human development is in a place where bombs ain't falling on your head. The places where human beings can grow and develop the most are places where you don't have to duck bullets on your way to school. Right? So if human beings are going to live on this earth, then the bombs have to stop and the bullets have to stop flying. And if the bombs can't stop and the bullets don't stop flying, we're going to have another kind of conversation. Because we also are not nonviolent. We will defend ourselves. And we will fight for our rights. So we want all of you all, and we say it over and over again, take this message home. Sit down with your grandmother and your grandfather and your auntie and your uncle and your cousin and tell them to join this movement. Bring them to the next rally. Educate them about what's happening in the world that they live in. Because when the war starts, that's who they're going to send. These little black boys out here on the street joining the U.S. Army, that's who they're going to send. That's who's going to die on this side. And we know who's going to die on that side. And it ain't going to be the people pushing the buttons. So thank you very much. Keep up the struggle. Stop NATO. Destroy it. Dismantle it. Stand against imperialism. Stand up with humanity. And end war. End war once and for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rafiki Morris. He mentioned the 1033 program. You know, the Black Alliance for Peace actually has a newsletter that comes out around the 1033 program that I highly recommend.